for basic survival. One day he was walking down a path through a jungle. His feet hit something. He looks back and he finds that there's a half-buried, very old-looking box buried in the ground. He digs it up, he tries to open it, he cannot open it. And he says, okay, I do not possess any possessions in this world. Why don't I take this box that I found, which belongs to me now, I'll take it wherever I go. So he would travel with the box wherever he went. Sometimes if he wanted to sleep, he would use that box as his pillow. Sometimes he wanted to sit somewhere, he used to use it as his seat to sit on. One day, there was an archaeologist that was, traveling through the town. Now he sees this beggar sitting on the road, but right next to the beggar is this very old box, a very ancient box. Now the archaeologist had the knowledge of old things. And he understood that this is no ordinary box. This box belongs to some ancient civilization. It is an antique. It is of tremendous value. And he gets very inquisitive in knowing, what is inside the box. So he comes to the beggar and he keeps on asking him. He's like, I'm an archaeologist. I have the knowledge to open this box. And do you want me to open this box for you? So the beggar said, yes, I've been trying for many, many years. Since I came into this possession of this box, I've been trying to open it. And it doesn't seem to open. There's some locking mechanism that I cannot figure out. So the archaeologist takes the box. He cleans it up. He finds that there is instructions how to open box written in an ancient language. He translates the language. And once he translates the language, he has the knowledge to open the box. When the archaeologist opens the box, what does he find? That there are great jewels, gold coins, diamonds, different sorts of semi and precious stones in the box. Now if I say, is the beggar who had the box always with him a beggar anymore? Because till he couldn't open the box, he was a beggar. Till he did not know what was truly inside the box, he had suffering, he had pain, he had all the things that we do not wish in life. But once the box is open and the contents revealed to him, he is no longer a beggar. Why? Because you will say, if he wants to eat food, he can now go to the best of restaurants in this world and have the best of cuisines in this world. If he wants to build a house, he can build his own fantasy home for himself. If he has a desire to possess anything in life, he has the ability to buy those things. So, there is no suffering in his life. So that is what the great masters try to teach us. Just like that person, when he was ignorant of what was inside the box, most people in life live ignorant lives of what is our true potential, what is truly within each and human being's consciousness. That what we call is Chaitanya. That means that within you there is your true self. It is your consciousness. But till you are ignorant of it, you will always live your life in some form of suffering. Today when we look into this world, we see human expression, human desires in so many forms. Forget about human desires, just look at within yourself, your desires. Our desires are innumerable. Our wants are innumerable. And within those innumerable desires and those uncounted wants and feelings, doesn't between all that lie suffering somewhere or the other? I am wanting more and more and more out of life. And when I don't get what I want, then what happens? The individual suffers. We all suffer. But the trick of the Maya or the mind is as such that I do not realize that I am also the creator of my own suffering. Because when we were small kids, there was a very small habit that we got into. When me and my younger brother used to play, and while playing, if we broke something in the house, if he broke it, his fingers would point at me. If I broke it, my fingers would point at him. If the parents came and they asked who broke this, automatically he did it. It's so easy to pass on blame, you know. And somewhere along the line, that little child has not died. Whenever we do something wrong, I didn't do it. He did it. Someone else must have done it. You know, it's easy to pass on the blame. That is the human nature. And we all are influenced by that nature, by that aspect of nature. And in the same way, when I'm suffering due to my own reasons, what do I say? No, it is the time that is making me suffer. It is the circumstances and situations that are making me suffer. And then if we do not find time or circumstances and situation justifiable enough, then I blame one and only the Almighty God, that God is the cause of my suffering. But I don't realize that how subtly the attachments of the mind, what we call moh, work, you know. Now notice and just experience or try to understand what I'm trying to say. They are very simple things. They're not complicated rocket science, you know. It's not advanced mathematics. I was very bad at mathematics in school. Completely hopeless. That's why I chose philosophy as a subject. Because I thought, oh great, you can say anything, make it sound a little complicated, people will think you're very wise. But little did I know that how much you had to study in philosophy, you know. Because I was taking the easy way out, and sometimes when we try to take the easy way out, we land up at the most complicated route in life. That's what happened to me. So, when I desire something, you know, and desires are innumerable. Let's take, I desire possession of a car that I've seen in an advertisement. Now, first and foremost, all the advertisements are very misleading. You know why? Because they'll say, oh, get this car and there's no worry. They don't tell you that very soon the petrol prices are going to rise. And that will be a cause of great worry. No advertisement will tell you that. They will tell you that, oh, get this car, sit in it, and it's like you're in a plane. You know, you won't even feel the road. And all your sufferings will go away. And somehow I start believing that. Because I'm seeing it again and again. People are talking about it, it's being shown again and again. And an imprint is made on my mind, and a desire arises that even I don't want to feel the road, even I want this car, that is the remover of all obstacles. So now I dream of owning this car, and I'm working towards it somehow or the other. One day I get up and I look outside, and my neighbor has that car, and I don't have it. My garage is still empty, I still have my little moped, or a 20-year-old car that I'm driving. Now my desire remains unfulfilled and someone else's desire is fulfilled. Automatically what happens? There is the mind that creates a subtle darkness inside of us. Most of the time we are not even aware of that change. Why? Because we are so focused in the external expressions of the mind, the desires and what they create, that I forget what is inside of me. You know, what changes are happening within me. Because the ability to be aware of yourself does not exist right now. So, I project my despair into anger. Because I'm angry now. Because I've been working towards this car, I haven't got it, my neighbor's got it. Now slowly, if I'm not aware of the anger and the subtle changes it's causing inside of me, then the anger increases further. Then that anger will turn into hate, will turn into envy. I'll be jealous of my neighbor, that he possesses something that I do not possess. Now, we talk about peace, we talk about love, we talk about God, we talk about harmony. But in reality, what is happening inside of me? These are just symbols and words, nothing more. I want to love my neighbor, but in reality, I'm hating him because he has something that I want. Now, when my internal self or my consciousness is tainted by despair, by anger, by hate, by envy, by all negative selves that we are taught not to attach ourselves to, and we are becoming that, then tell me, how can love exist? How can harmony exist? How can compassion exist? How can what I aspire to be exist in my life? Because I want to be somewhere else, and I'm being something else completely. And that being something else takes me somewhere else. Someone very wisely put it that that's the problem of today's world. We want something else, we think about something else, we are doing completely different, So in the end, we'll end up somewhere else. And then we say, oh, I didn't want to come here. How come this thing has happened to me? So it's very important for us to be aware of ourselves, moment to moment. That is true meditation. No meditation can be limited by time. I have traveled to a lot of places in this trip. And one of the greatest changes I've seen is that everywhere I go, there's a yoga studio being opened up. You know, I was traveling from Toronto to Lake Huron, and we passed like certain small towns. I don't remember the town's name, but I saw yoga studios everywhere. Every town had a yoga studio right in the center of the town. So even I was very happy and impressed. I said, it's a great thing if yoga has come here. Now I stopped somewhere and I was asking someone, I said, okay, how did you plan to open a yoga studio? So the person was saying that I went to India, I stayed in Rishikesh for 6 months, I got a degree, and I came back and I'm teaching someone. I said, very good. Then I saw some of the students coming in and out, so I just stood there and I just spoke to them. And I was just asking, I said, okay, tell me, why are you doing yoga? So one person says, oh, I'm a little unfit and I want to be fit and I'm doing yoga. Someone says, oh, I've gained a little weight and I want to lose a little weight and I'm doing yoga. Someone says, I've become a little unflexible, I want to be flexible again and I'm doing yoga. Now, the essence of yoga is lost because yoga was not invented or yoga was not founded, the principles of yoga was not founded to become flexible or to become thin. If you want to become thin, stop eating or eat a balanced diet. I'm sure that would help greatly. Avoid chocolates and sweets. That would help greatly. No, but I'm doing yoga to become thin. Now the actual meaning of yoga is what? Chit vritti nirdasya yoga. That yoga was founded not for the body. Yoga was founded because our sages knew that all suffering is linked to the movement of the mind. There's a simple law called the law of motion, which says every aspect of this world in its natural form, is still. Motion only occurs when an external force is applied to the object. That means, for example, kids love playing with soccer ball. If I keep a soccer ball on the ground and I do not touch it, what will happen? It might roll a little bit, but then in its natural state, the ball will come to a position where it's absolutely still. That's its natural state of occurrence. Every object in its natural state is still. But motion happens only when an external force is applied. I come running and I kick the ball, then there is motion. In the same way, mind's natural state is to be calm and still, is to be harmonious in life. But there are external forces. There are forces of the world, there are forces of time, there's forces of the manifestation, how the mind moves. And this becomes the external force which makes the mind move. And within the movement of the mind, when the mind is not still, we suffer. If you look closely, I'm sure as we grow old, there is suffering of the body. But truly, even beyond the suffering of the body is the suffering of the mind, which is the greater suffering. I might have everything in life, but if I do not understand the value of what I possess, then I'm the greatest beggar in this world, in so many ways. In the morning, with George and with Licia, we went to a very beautiful forest. Ken was also there. And while walking, we were just talking. And I was just talking to Licia and I was just telling her about certain experiences. And I told him about this thing, sometimes the most profound knowledge is the most simplest knowledge. We were very young. One of our friend's father used to come. And he is a really incredible person. I mean, he struggled a lot in his life. At the age of 8, he lost his parents. He started working for his family business. He always was not given equal rights to his other cousins, He struggled. By the time he came 16 or 17, he started his own bakery shop. through his own efforts, he is now one of the owner of the best bakery